Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna assume that this is my row segment. You will do the same with your own row segment, okay? Now, we need to bring this row segment into ArcGIS, roughly. Not exactly the same, but we need some points that we can bring into ArcGIS, and so that those points will guide when we are doing the new alignment to replace this existing alignment. You can see, for instance, the one I opened is a good example because there's a lot of curves. So I will try to don't have that many curves and try to improve it. Now I need some points to guide myself. So first, we're gonna notice what coordinate system this is on. So it's already in this coordinate system. You can see the details here. So we are on the GCS North America 27. This is important because we need to make sure that the surface is also in this coordinate system. GCS North America 1927, and then is the CRLN NAT 27. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some points based on these lines. So I'm gonna open the table of attributes. So you go ahead and you say open attribute table. Now, this is my road segment. So I'm gonna isolate this road segment from the rest. Okay, you see how it's highlighted. So for instance, if I am Antoine, I will click on my row segment and minimize this. If I am Fares, I click on my name and minimize this, okay? I am gonna presume to be Moayad, just for the sake of this example. And I'm gonna save this as an isolated segment. So make a right click, make sure that it's highlighted. Make a right click and say export data. Export data, select a folder. I'm gonna keep it in this folder. I'm just gonna say Luis Amador. Delete, because I need to remember that I have to delete this. You can put your own name, right? So you remember that this is your segment. And make sure that this is selected features. There's another one that is all features. If the all features is selected, it's gonna copy everything. If selected features are chosen, only this selected segment will be moved on into the new file. Any questions, guys? Hit OK.
Sorry, how do you export the data again? I'm at the table right now.
Okay, I cannot answer your question. You have to give me 5 seconds.
Okay.
I will answer in 5 seconds. It's gonna ask if you want to add the exported data to the layer, to the map as a layer, you say yes. Now, to answer your question, you make a right click on top of the name, final project row segments, right click, data, export data.
Okay, all good, thanks.
Okay, Hunter. Now, if I uncheck the box for this one, you will see that this new file only has my segment. And I am only interested in this segment because that's my final project. Unless, of course, you are interested in a different segment, you should see your own segment here. I see my segment, the view will be different for each of you. Now, on this segment, right now is only one whole segment of, this one is 34 kilometers, actually, it's a bit long, okay? So we're gonna break this in maybe, what can we say? Maybe 500 meter, maybe 200 meter segments. And then we're gonna create midpoints for each segment, and those midpoints we're gonna import in Civil 3D. How do we do that? So first we need to split this. So you guys go on editor and say start editing. Click there. editor, start editing, okay? You select your segment. If you have multiple ones, you have to select the one you're gonna edit, otherwise you will be editing something else. Click OK. Now, this is already selected, but if it is not selected, then you have to go and click on it until it's highlighted. So make sure it's highlighted. Go to editor, and we can say split. Do you see this one is 34,512? In your case, maybe slightly different. So in my case,
Professor, how did you get the split option?
Editor, split.
Okay, I don't have it. Why? It's even though I selected the road.
You selected and you say editor, start editing?
Yes.
Well, that's something very strange.
Do you have on the right-hand side like a table that has create features and then it has?
All right. So my segment is 34.5 kilometers. I'm going to break it in, what you say, 250 meters maybe? Or 500 meters? 250 meters. So this is going to be 138 segments, okay? So I'm going to select here into equal parts, and I say 138. In your case, you can use 100 if you wish, or 138. I suppose your segments will be somewhere between 29 and 31, 32 kilometers. Around 30 kilometers should be your segment.
Sorry, is it normal that I'm getting like 0.06? So I did 31 divided by 500.
You divide 35.
No, 31.696 divided by 500.
35 divided by 0.5, 70 segments.
0.5, okay.
35 are kilometers, right?
Yeah.
You have to keep consistency of units. So you divide by 0.5, which is equivalent to half kilometer, or
Okay.
you divide it by 0.25 to keep consistency of units.
Yeah, sorry.
You wanted us for our segments, the ones that are 30 kilometers, to divide it by how many meters?
It's up to you. Maximum 100 meters if you want. But maybe 200 or 250 will be fine.
Okay.
So you have 30 kilometers, you can do it in 200 meters if you want, 150 segments. It's not that important because we are going to obtain midpoints for each segment, and those points are the ones we will import into Civil 3D.
So, Professor, I have a question. For the lane length, do we use the one we have in the table, or we use the one we get in Excel? Because if you remember, I told you I got different length because.
But this is reporting here to you. The length is reported to you here on the table. That's what you use. What you use on Excel is something else, that you create a representation of the alignment by reading over the alignment. Arcgis is giving you with 3 decimals the precision of the length of the segment that you are going to break here. You guys are worrying too much about the accuracy of your lengths or how many you have. We are just going to break this in little pieces, and from every little piece we will get the midpoint, and that midpoint, the points, are going to be imported in Civil 3D. So if the segment is 99 or 93 or 110, it's not much of a difference because those points are only going to guide when we are putting the alignment in the other software. It's only reference point that we will have.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so click OK. If you go again or you open the table of attributes, you will see 130 something or 140 segments. Okay.
Sorry, Prof, I can't click OK. Like it doesn't, like I just put the into equal parts 100.
Yeah, I just have the same thing that I had before.
Yes, it's going to show the same thing because you won't be able to see it. But when you open the table of attributes, it should show you the segments. No? It still shows only one line.
Yeah, as if I didn't do anything.
Really? Okay, that is strange. Can you share your screen?
Yeah, sure. But now it works. So.
That's okay. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. All right, so now we're going to come here on the table of attributes. So I hope everybody's on the table of attributes. So otherwise, make a right click and come to the table of attributes. And we're going to add two fields. I want to bring to your attention this shape length is not correct. Okay, so you can make a right click and say calculate geometry and then recalculate it. Okay, it is not important for what we're doing now, but it might be important in other occasions. Now, before we lose the edits, save the edits, please. Editor, save edits. Okay, save edits. And then editor, stop editing. All right, save edits first and then stop editing. Okay, guys? Now go and open the table of attributes again. I just need to make sure that everybody is following what I'm doing because you are going to have to do this. You click here on the corner on the table options. And you set add field. So we're going to call the first one coordinate X, make it a float. Are you guys with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So click OK. And then repeat the same for coordinate Y. So here on the table options, add field. Are you guys with me? You go on top of the label coordinate X and you make a right click and you said calculate geometry. Okay? And then in the geometry, you're gonna say X coordinate of the midpoint. You will notice that the coordinate system is the one we mentioned before, and that the units are in meters. If you wish, you could change it to decimal degrees in the drop down. I'm gonna keep it on meters, okay? All right, guys, and say okay. It's gonna populate the coordinate X for you.
Is there a reason why we took the midpoint and not the line end or start?
No, you can take the end or the start if you wish.
Okay.
We do the same on coordinate Y, right click, calculate geometry. Coordinate Y. In my case, I'm using midpoint. Okay. These two lines, which are the coordinates, is what I'm gonna bring into Civil 3D. I am going, however, to repeat this procedure with another file. Before I go there, is everybody with me? You guys calculated X and Y coordinates?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so open the catalog and bring the one that is called rain zones. Bring it here. So you click on it, you drag it, and you drop it.
Should we have rain zones or?
Rain zones was on the zip file. So if you open the other one, you might not have it. All right. So now that you have the rain zones, make a right click on rain zones and notice that you have elevations, average elevation in meters, okay? That elevation I'm gonna use to create a surface in Civil 3D. So I will now take advantage of that elevation and create a file that gives me those elevations with coordinates. So right now in the table of attributes, if you go again, you don't have coordinates. So we need to add coordinates to this file. So we're gonna do the same we did before. Table options, add field, coordinate X, float. And okay. Table contents, table options, pardon. Add field, coordinate Y, float, which means a number with decimals. Okay. Yes.
Should we reproject first so that it's in the same projection,
don't
or
know.
it doesn't affect things?
Okay, so please, guys, do you have it? Coordinate X, coordinate Y?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yes.
make a right click on top of the label and say, calculate geometry. Now, please notice that we need to select the CRLN NAT27, which is down here. So you have to change to use the coordinate system of the data frame to obtain coordinates. If you use this one, they will be shift and land somewhere else on space. And we want the X coordinate of the centroid. And remember, last time we used meters. So we're gonna keep it as meters. I'm gonna keep that there so you can see it and select the same in your computer. All right, X coordinate of the centroid, the CRLN at 27 meters, okay. You repeat the same procedure over coordinate Y. Calculate geometry, Y coordinate of the centroid, CRLN 27 in meters, okay. All right, guys? Everybody has that?
Yes.
Okay. So now, please notice that I have these two files, and I will take elevations out of this. So I will use this column of elevations, X and Y coordinates. This is what I'm going to use out of this file. If you want to make sure you use the right one, you can save this as a table, as a DBF, or you can just go and select the DBF out of this shape. You can do one or the other one. So I'm gonna do both, so you see it, okay? Make a right click on range zones and say export data. All right? We want all features. Hopefully you have selected nothing. And we are gonna change from shapefile to database. And we're gonna say elevations, Costa Rica. And we're going to put it in a folder that we remember where that folder is. In my case, yes, it's a little difficult. In your case, put it in a folder that you know where that is. And coordinates. You don't really need to do this. You can go and take the range zone DBF file and use that one right away. Okay? Ah, okay, doesn't want to save it. Okay, doesn't want to do it. Let's do it the easy way then. This range zone, I'm going to use it. And I'm going to use this. So I'm going to use these two files, okay? In my case, I have them in this folder. Do you see this is my range zone file? Do you notice this is a DBF? Okay. So I'm going to make a new folder here. And I'm going to say October 2nd, Arcgis to Civil 3D. Just make a folder so you remember. And select the DBF file. Make a copy of it. So control copy, go inside the folder you just created and save it in there. I think I copied the wrong file. Did I? Yeah.
I don't think we can do it because we already have like the file open, so it won't let us like move the file.
I'm not moving. I'm making a copy.
Ah, okay.
When did I say move?
No, but I mean maybe I guess.
No, of course not. If you move it, then this will go corrupted. If you are not sure, then you can go to data, export data, and then save it with a given name in that folder, and you know you just use that file from that folder, right? So you can save it as elevations, and you can go inside the folder you created. And then you can say save.
But you used the shapefile instead of making it in the...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I'm going to open the DBF. When you go here, I'm just going to use the DBF so I can remove the rest. Okay, multiple ways, guys. You can go here and select the one that you want, but has to be the DBF extension, okay? You can make Control-C, go to the folder, Control-V. That creates a copy and doesn't corrupt anything. The other way, you go into Civil 3D and you make a right click and you say data, export data. You go inside the folder that you want. And you put a name to that. This one will be my segment. I can try to save it as a database, but it was not working in my case. Yeah, it's not working. So you can just save it as a shape, it doesn't matter. And then you say no. Or you come here and you look at the segment you had and you search for the DBF, is this one, and you say control copy. You go inside the folder you want and you say control V and you paste it in there. Okay, so please do that with the two files. The one that is coming with your segment, and the segment, I mean the segment that you broke in pieces, right? In small pieces. And the one that we created for the rain songs. Are you guys with me? Or I know I did it a bit fast. Let me know if you need help. You guys are good?
Just need a minute.
Sorry, just to be sure, whenever you do export data.
Okay, so now we're going to open Excel. And we will do some cleanup on Excel of these two files. So I'm going to say File, Open. And I'm going to say Browse. And look, guys, you change the file format to DBase. Please let me know when you get there. Okay, and you go to the folder where you save the two files we just created. In my case, they are here. Even if you didn't delete the rest of the files, in this view, we'll only show the DBFs to you. So we're gonna select first the one with the elevations. Guys, I need to know if you are following me, and I
Yes.
cannot see your screen, so I rely on your indication.
I only have the elevations.
So you didn't save the other one.
I did, but I don't find
You
it.
save it in the same folder.
Yeah, I haven't found it. So I haven't found the DBF file of the.
I will suspect you put it in a different folder.
Yeah, I'll try to find it.
Or
Yeah,
save it
same. I think I lost the folder.
recording. So select the one with the elevations in Excel, the base, say open. These two columns, coordinate X and Y, those are the columns that I want. And the elevation. These two other columns, I don't care. So I'm gonna delete them. The order in which we save this is important. So we need to remember what that order is. So in my case, I'm gonna save it as X, Y, and Z for elevation. So I will alter the columns. I will assume you all know how to use Excel. Control X, and I will insert it there. And as a matter of fact, I don't want all those decimals, but it doesn't matter. You can keep them if you wish.
So, Professor, when I did what you did, but I didn't get the X and Y coordinates when I did my segment. I don't know why it showed me the.
You create an X and a Y coordinate in ArcGIS.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Just let me double check.
So I was saying, guys, please change the order. So we have X, Y, and Z. If you don't,
How
if
do
you
we
want
get
to,
the average elevation? I don't get the X and Y.
you should no, because you are looking at your segment or the rain.
So I have to add the rain too?
You have to, we're gonna repeat this with two different files. We're gonna do it first with the rain zone file that has elevation on it. I'm gonna repeat because I was not recording. So I deleted the labels, right? And I make sure that I don't have any other columns. I only have X, Y, and the elevation. Okay, guys, now save it, save as, commas delimited, but there are two comma delimited. This CSV UTF-8 is not the one we want. We want the other one, the comma delimited, that CSV. Why? There is a difference, believe me or not. So we're gonna save it as CSV. And we're gonna put it in a folder that we remember. And I'm gonna put a name that I remember. So I'm gonna call it Elevations, Costa Rica, or CR, for Civil 3D. So something that is very clear that that is the file that I want. And you save it. Can I ask if everybody is with me? Now close this one. Open Excel again if you have two. In my case, I had another Excel open, so I'm going to take advantage of that. Open Excel again. And go and open the segment. So this is my segment. Remember, you have to change this to be DBF, the base file. And select your row segment and say open. This is what happens to, I think, to Fares before. Do you see how thick is this? You can say Control A, right click, width 10, and then everything will come together. So from this one, I only care about X and Y. I'm actually going to change the decimals. I think I'm going to remove the decimals. Let's keep the decimals. So I don't need anything else. Everything else I'm going to remove. And also please notice I have X, Y. Civil 3D will expect an elevation, and we don't have one. So we're going to put an elevation at any level you want. It doesn't matter. I cannot remember if there's an option to go without elevation. So just to be on the safe side, I will put an elevation. If I find an option in Civil 3D that doesn't require elevation, then we are going to use that one. But just in case, we're going to put an elevation to every point. Okay, guys? So I have X, Y, and the fake elevation. We're going to remove the label. And we're going to save this. Save as, comma delimited. Again, it is this comma delimited. It is not the first one. It is the second one, which is the plain comma delimited. And I'm going to call this a name so that I remember. So I'm going to call it road segment for Civil 3D. Okay, guys? Click on Save. Now you can close Excel. If you see your folder, you will have the two files you just created. This one and this one. These two. Okay, close your ArcGIS. We don't need it anymore. We're going to work with these two. Open Civil 3D, please. You are going to have several Civil 3Ds. Open the one that is metric. Do not open the imperial. The imperial will work with feet and miles per hour. And we want to work with meters and kilometers per hour. So open the metric. I'm going to pause this because it takes like a few seconds for Civil 3D to open. So go and click on the top left, the create a blank drawing file. This one where I have my pointer. Click on that. Now, this will bring two things, the menu on the top and also the menus on the left and the right, and the drawing space. This menu on the left is important and it has tabs, but typically we will be working on the tab called Prospector. However, there's one called Toolbox that you might need to create reports. But we will typically be working here in Prospector. Then you have main menus here. You have Home, Insert, Annotate, Modify, Analyze. Those are the main ones. This in Home controls this. So if you don't see this tool space and Prospector, it's because it's not selected. So you just click on this and it will come back to you. Just in case, if ever disappears, you click on that. Am I recording? Yes. Okay, guys, so we're gonna bring the road segment points first, okay? So we're gonna come here to Insert, Points from File. Okay, Insert, so you have Home, Insert, Annotate, you go to the Insert menu, Points from File. Now, here is where it's important to know what order we save it. You remember we save X, Y, Z. That is the same as Easting, Northing, and Z elevation. So this first one should work for you. We're gonna click on this plus that is on the top right. And we're gonna go and browse until we find the folder where we save the files we want. So in my case, I'm gonna open my row segment first. I'm gonna wait for you guys. You have to click here on this plus. Let me know when you are here, please.
I am.
Thanks. Lana is keeping low profile today.
I'm getting there. It's hidden. I'm going to the file. There's no copy option, right?
Copy?
The path.
Like to copy and paste the data?
The path. I'm here. I'm done. I was just redirecting.
All right, good. The rest of you guys, can you confirm you're here?
Yes.
My folder says it's empty.
Empty?
I don't know why.
.csv, it'll show up.
Did you selected the comma separated vector, the .csv, or here from comma delimited?
Okay, find it.
You found it? Okay, good. I see somebody on the chat. All right, so we're gonna go for the road segment first. So click on that road segment and say open. It's gonna give you a preview. Okay? You have a preview. We are gonna add the points to a point group. So check this box here. Here, you see where I am, right? And click on this button over here. And this is gonna be called My Segment Points. When you are working on Civil 3D, you always have to put either if it is a point, if it is an alignment, horizontal alignment, if it is a profile, you have to put the word profile. If it is contours, you have to put contours or surface. So you always have to identify with a good name each of the features so you remember what it is.
So Professor, it gave me an error for the file when I put it.
Okay.
The status is no point file format.
Okay, guys. So I was saying add points to point group. You have to check this box. Okay. And then you have to click on this plus and give it a name. In my case, I'm going to call it my segment points. And you click the OK. I need to speed up a little bit, guys, so I hope you are with me. And we're going to say OK. All right. We're going to bring now the other points, the ones for the surface. So we repeat the same procedure. Insert, points from file, ENC, plus, elevations, open. So I'm going to wait for you guys. I will go and select them again, just in case somebody needs to see it. On the insert, point from file. Make sure you have the right format. In my case, is Eastern, Northern, and elevation. Plus, I'm taking the elevations file, open. We are gonna add them to a point group again, but it's gonna be a new group. Okay, first I wanna know if you guys are here. You can see the surface.
Yes.
The points, okay, so check the box for add points to point group and make a new point group and call it points for surface. Okay, guys, click OK. Make sure you are not using the other group name because otherwise it's gonna be all messed up. And you click OK. Are you all following me? Are you with me? Okay, I will hope so. Click OK. Now, you probably don't see anything, right? So you can say zoom and then E for extends. And now you will see a cloud of points. As a matter of fact, surprise, surprise, you can see a density of points in your segment. This is the segment that we created every 100 or 200 meters. Now, I want to create contours from these points, not the points from the highway, the other points, because the points of the highway, I gave a fake elevation. Can you guys see something like this on your screen? Of course, your segment will be another one. Can you guys please confirm if you can see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So now go to surface here on prospector on the left. And make a right click. This menu works with right clicks. Whatever you want, you make a right click, okay? And we're gonna say create surface. Okay, now in the surface, here, we're gonna give it a name. And we're gonna call it existing ground surface. I'm gonna keep the contours to be 2 and 10, but you can change it if you want. But it's important the name to be something that you remember this is existing ground. Did you guys got this screen?
Yes.
I'm sorry, no, not yet. So what?
So I'm not sure if I was recording when I did this, but basically you have to say zoom, and then you have to say E for the extent of the drawing, and that will bring the cloud of points as the current view. After that, you have to do right click on surface, create surface, and then you have to give it a name that you remember that is the existing ground surface. I typically call it EG, but I know in my code, EG is an existing ground. You can change the contours if you want, but we're just gonna keep the same for now. And we click OK. Nothing happens because I have not attached the points to the surface yet. But you see, you have now a plus here. Next to the surface, you have a plus. You can expand on the prospector. Okay, I'm here on the prospector. You can expand. You can expand the existing ground or whatever name you gave it, and you can expand the definition. Okay, so I expanded all these three. We're gonna go to point groups and we're gonna make a right click. I will wait for you guys. Were you able to expand all these definitions, surface, the existing ground or whatever name you gave, and then definition, and then on points, point groups, right click, add. This is gonna be created from the points for surface. You have to select the correct one, otherwise it's not gonna work. My segment is the segment points. The elevation is not correct. We should not use that. We should use the point for surface or whatever name you gave it to the points of the surface. Click apply and click OK.
You just put add and then apply for the points for data one?
You make a right click, you say add, you
Yeah.
selected the points for surface, and then you say apply, okay. I think it also works if you only say okay. Hopefully you guys can visualize something like this. This is the entire country, right? So this is like 300 kilometers by 90 kilometers. So it's a big area. You can try to zoom in a little bit if you want, but if you notice, the boundary of the contours is coming all the way here to this, and it's because there's an island, and we have an elevation coming from a point from this island. So we'd rather remove that so that the boundary goes only to the continental portion of the country. If you don't do it, it's okay, but it doesn't look elegant, to be honest. Now, I can use the zoom. You guys can see the contours? Can I get some confirmation?
Yes.
You see contours? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so click on zoom and go zoom in this corner. And there gotta be some point here. So I'm gonna change the display to be big. So I'm clicking here on the scale. I'm gonna change it to 5,000. I cannot see anything yet. Sorry, 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna zoom one moment here to see at what scale these points are visible. I need a large scale to be able to visualize those points. Okay, fine. It should be visible in 5,000. I don't see it. There's gotta be a point here, but I don't see it. Okay, alternatively, I can just select here. Those are the 2 points, you see? I can see them now. Okay, so let's zoom in this corner. And I can just select, those are the 2 points, right there. So one is here, and the other one is here. Variable points. Okay, so here are my 2 points. I'm gonna just select them and remove them. So I'm just gonna say delete. You don't have to delete them, but it's just some editing. If you did edit them, you will see some exclamation marks. It's because this is not updating automatically, but it's detecting that you have done some edits. So you have to go and make a right click and say reveal automatic. Oh, there's still 1 point in there, I think. All right, let's not waste time on this. No, it's rebuilt. There was no point. My screen is probably dirty. Zoom, extends. Okay, now that's much better. Okay, don't worry, guys, if you didn't follow the deletion of that those points from the island, but do make a zoom close to the middle. We are gonna hide these points that I have here so that I don't see those points. I don't wanna see them. So we're gonna come here on the prospector to points. And we're gonna select properties. Did I get you lost, guys? Hopefully not. Go to properties and then set the point style. You have to go with the bar up to none. So point style to none. This is what you do when you want to hide the points. Because I create the surface, I don't need those points for anything else anymore. So I don't want to see them. But notice, I am hiding only the ones for the surface. The segment points I will keep because I'm going to use those to trace my alignment.
So I didn't get this screen.
So point style, none. Point label style, none. Because I don't want to see these points and I don't want to see any labels. Apply. Okay. All right, so they're gone. Good. My segment points, on the contrary, I want to visualize those very clearly. So I'm going to make a right click and say properties. Arash, which one will be a good one? That is big and visible. Benchmark, maybe? Or we can just keep it that way. Actually, you can see them here. If you pay attention, the points are right here. So let's try to zoom into the segment where you have your points. In my case, I'm going to zoom into this area here. And my points are here. This is what I extracted from ArcGIS. Now you can also see the contours roughly here. Maybe these contours are a bit too many, so we can simplify them a little bit. Everybody has contours, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so let's try to simplify the contours a little bit. Let's go back to the surface and existing ground surface on the prospector and make a right click and surface properties. So I'm going to use something because I think I'm using 2 and 5 and 10. I can't remember. We will see, but I'm going to use contours maybe every 25 meters or something like that. So click on surface properties, please. So right click, you go to surface. If you cannot see it, you have to expand on the plus. And then right click here on your surface and surface properties. I have contours every 2 and 10. I think I'm going to change that. So there are 2 ways to do that, guys. One way is creating a new style. So you will come here and say create new. And then you will go to contours, this tab, and expand the contour interval. and change the minor to maybe 10 and change the major, okay, to maybe 50. So I click here, okay? I'm gonna wait for you guys. Let me know when you get here. Or let me know if I have to do it again. Guys, are you with me? Should I do it again?
No, we're good, I think.
You are here?
Yes.
So make something like 10 and 50. We're gonna try. Hopefully that will work. So click OK. Oh, I didn't give it a name. So it's gonna be the new surface style. I forgot to give that a name. So it was 5 and 10, right? All right, click on apply and click on OK. Oh, it's gone. Okay, then don't click on that. Hold on a minute. Okay, let's do it the other way. We're gonna select Edit Surface Style. There's still a way to do it in the other one, but I don't know why it's not working. Probably I have to save it with a name and I didn't save it and then select it. And that new surface style probably is something that is blank. So maybe to be on the safe side without creating nothing new, you come to Edit Surface Style. And now you just change the contours here. Apply and OK. Yeah, that looks better. That looks better now. Okay, guys? So I'm gonna repeat. Edit Surface Style, and then you go to Contours.
Is there a reason why I don't have any of them? They're gone?
Yes, because when you selected here the surface properties and you select the new surface style, that new surface style was not populated with what we changed. So we will have to go and edit this one. Probably we need to go to the display. See, they are off on the display. So we have to turn them on. And then apply and then OK. And then apply and then OK. And now it's reading from the one I defined before. Lana, surface properties, right?
Yeah, now I turned on only the minor and the major contours. It works.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you follow what I was doing, right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, good. Yeah, this one actually looks slightly better than the other one. You see, guys? Because it's using some colors.
Can
Yeah,
you repeat how you do it?
Come again?
Can you repeat how did you do it?
Yeah, so two ways. One way is edit surface style. Okay. And then here on edit surface style, you go to contours, contour interval, and you click and you type whatever you want. 15 and 50. Or 10 and 40 or 10 and 33.5. It's up to you. You can type whatever you want, right? So let's say 10 and 50 maybe. And then you say apply. Okay. The other way is you come here in surface properties. Should I wait for you?
Yes, good.
You got it?
Yeah, good.
Okay. So everybody has better contours now? Now, we cannot see what is the elevations on this, right? We don't know. So we're gonna put labels to these contours. I'm just gonna pan a little bit and I'm gonna put labels, or maybe I zoom a little bit in here. So I'm gonna come to annotate. You see you have home, insert, annotate. And I realize this is the end of the class, but I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna have to stretch a few more minutes. Is that okay for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So go to annotate and say add labels. And in add labels, you go for surface. This is the way we put labels to everything, right? But for now, I'm gonna show you how to do it for contours. You come to surface, and the best, the one that people like the most is contour multiple. You can put single. That means you click here and you click on one contour and gives you the elevation of that contour. But I prefer to use the multiple. Most cases, you need this one. Were you able to find the contour multiple? Am I recording this? Yes. Contour multiple. Guys, you saw it?
Yes.
Okay. So contour multiple is going to ask you for 2 points. So I'm going to put contours from, let's say, okay, let's try this. I'm going to put contours from here to here. So do you see this line that I have here now? Every time this line hit a contour in that specific location is going to give me a label. Did you get the line?
Should we do it for the entire length of the highway segment that we have?
You can try, but the problem in the one I have is I'd rather put one like here, and then I put one like here. If in your case you can do one from the beginning to the end, then do. In my case, I'm going to insert one here, and then I will insert one here. So click on the other end.
So I have a question for my segment. It starts when there's a black, there's no like...
Recording. Okay. I don't remember where I stopped recording. So for flow patterns, you go into Analyze, Flow Paths, Water Drop. You can take the defaults, otherwise you can adjust it. And you come here and you can start clicking on the drawing, and this is gonna show you the patterns how water will flow, depending on where you are. Now, if you want to adjust the contours, you can just come and click on top of one of them, and then you can use these frozen points to adjust the location of your contours wherever you want them. So if you wanna adjust, you can just go and click, and this will change the location of your contours on the drawing. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop the class there, guys. I hope you were able to visualize the contours. These contours will be the foundation of our design.